question, at least the way I think about it in terms of allowing everybody to be your product development department, right? I mean, allowing somebody in Denver, Colorado to pull data from a LexisNexis legal database and a construction database and a city database and put together a brand new product that never existed before and take it to market where Lexis would never do that. It just wouldn't make sense to be that detail focused to pull all this data together. It may make sense for somebody who's in that market to create niche applications using your data.
And what I'd argue is that the core Bloomberg product in the core Bloomberg market has pulled together all the data and allows it to get into the workflow for the financial institution, for traders and that.
Right.
And in the legal market, that the professionals there have 3 potential services they could go to, which pulls in all of the information they need to do their jobs. So and again, what I'm saying is, from an open perspective, do my customers want open? I mean, I buy this for consumers. I don't really buy it for the professional users, and the ability to take, and our brand, we don't want, no offense, mashery or mashed potatoes or whatever it is. We don't want these companies to have the brand that's between us and the customer. It's our brand. It's the reliability, the trust is Bloomberg. That should be what the customer sees. So, I mean, I think we have sort of different views, I guess, of where we are. And again, I think because, and I don't mean this to be, I'm always adversarial from my legal background, and I apologize for that. But I'm also a little nervous because I'm not used to being wired. You didn't tell me that was part of this, and being Italian and from New Jersey, when I'm wired, it often creates a problem for me. I had an uncle who got killed for that. But anyway, besides all that, I mean, I view us as if we have the distribution model. I think the point you hit on, we feel we have the distribution model, and we could bring that distribution model at Bloomberg to every user based on our brand name, our content, our ability to get the data and aggregate it. And that building around that and on that, that's part of what we bring, the linkage, the technology that we bring to the table. It's why we bought companies like BNA to get that content and have it all together with ours. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we feel that's the value that we add. And so, in essence, I think we are competing with you in a way, not for the same customers, but for the same mind share of those customers that we see in our vertical.
Is now the time to take issue?
Go.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'll put down my paper. I don't. This panel.
Should I take my jacket off?
Yeah,
No,
it's
this panel
it's
got.
going Jerry Springer.
I'm happy to do that.
I'm glad to
Jerry
sit in
Springer.
between.
No, but this panel. This panel just got very interesting because I think there's a rapid time to market, and I'll give my disclaimer. Polish kid, went to West Point. Best friend and roommate was from New Jersey, Nikki DeMiro. So I love the directness of the question and the suggestion. I'll simplify kind of what Mashery sees, having been in this space for 5+ years. Apps are B2C and APIs are B2B. It's that simple. Everyone is out there on their mobile device, on their apps, and like, why couldn't I get this ease and simplicity and creativity on my business app that I get on my consumer app? It's twofold. The first reason is most of the B2C facing companies have felt the sting of innovation. Our biggest customers started out in the traditional media space. New York Times, USA Today, they were quickly getting disintermediated by the internet, and especially the mobile internet. And New York Times said, we could dig in and only sell our newspaper, or we could dig in and only hoard our own stories and content. But they got very smart. They said, news is about distribution, not about control. So they took control of their distribution, and they created a managed API program. And maybe for purposes of the panel, let's just replace the word open with managed. Open implies silly, stupid, and reckless. And to a lawyer, that might certainly be a logical interpretation. New York Times is not a dumb company. They're moving towards more subscriptions of their iPad app than they are of selling newspapers. They have a developer page at New York Times, which is now 3.5 years old, where they have active hackathons with the Soho Chelsea environment of New York City to have third-party developers create new apps, new interfaces, and new data layers for their content. I don't see many sweatshirts and jeans in this room, but that is an environment that loves APIs. And we did a hackathon in the fall with a really crazy, brand called American Express that said, how about we do a hackathon with a layer of our APIs that is not personally identifiable and not highly regulated, but a layer of APIs that would give us a glimpse of what third parties would do with our content. And it was an incredible event. 27 new apps got spun up. The company Foursquare, which is a spin-off of Foursquare, was born at that event. And there was Etsy, Constant Contact, Mashery, Twitter, who came to this kind of embracing of managed APIs as a new way to distribute your content. And I think his very sound point is, we're all in the business to make money. Bloomberg is not a company to do something that's not making money. Our view at Mashery is good distribution is much better money, and we do not have silly customers.
So Rafael, go ahead.
Yeah, just beside the distribution issue, there's another issue that all the publishers we are challenged is how we are going to innovate. So we, on the product side, we are limited with our thinking. So with the API, with the openness that you bring to your platform, what you are doing, you are empowering the users to build the solutions. So again, we are doing all the hackathons that Dram mentioned, and we see that from researchers, from scientists, we are getting applications, web applications that we couldn't have imagined, because they know the problems that they are facing every day, and what they are doing, they are creating the solutions to solve their problems. And with this openness, again, if you look at all the platforms, usually what we do, we figure out the common denominator and we try to build solutions to serve the common denominator. But when you open up, then you are going to have different groups in different domains building their own specific applications. That's the beauty. So innovation right now is going to come, as the previous speaker said, from the people. That's another way for us as a publishers to collaborate with the community, to co-build with the community, and innovate together with them. It's not just distribution. Distribution you can distribute, but how you are going to create new products, how you are going to create new solutions.
I want to make sure that we have time in the vein of allowing innovation to spread here to get some questions from you all. I think we're right at the point where we could maybe start a little brawl up here if you get just the right questions. So anybody